What's going on, guys? I'm Matt, and I'm here to try to at least do a lap around the Nordschleife. I just want to be abundantly clear: this is not a perfect lap. If you're here for a perfect lap, I just want to apologize in advance. And if you can do a perfect lap of the Nordschleife, you're beyond our help or understanding. I tip my hat and I salute you. So try to get a little tighter there into turn one. I'm not going to know any of the corner names, just bear with me. But try to get a little tighter there into turn one. Watch you're locking up there, especially on worn tires. Try to cut these corners a little close. I don't really go close enough right there because you're going to want to set up to the left for the right-hander, absolutely, like right here. Gonna go up into third or fourth gear. Brake around like 75 meters. This corner is negative camber, so it can be a little bit sketchy, especially if you feel like you're kind of trying to mentally prepare for the Nordschleife. Second gear through this section, you have a lot of room to play with the curbs and the green turf. I don't know what it is there, but try to wet on your throttle here as well. You're going to get up into fifth or sixth gear before the chicane. It really depends on how good of a run you have. You're not going to really chip out at the top of fifth, but if you want to get into sixth, just so you have like a little bit more drive, you're good. Down into third, you can cut this pretty close. I cut that a little too close there. I actually got a 1X. Try to avoid that. My car hopped a little bit, and I wasn't sure if I had damage. Thankfully, I didn't. But you're going to want to avoid that. So down to the first gear. Watch when you get onto the Nordschleife, and especially watch when you break into this turn right here. You're going to get loose on both sides of that. So try to carry full throttle through here as well. Make sure that car is planted. I went a little far to the right there. You want to flare out to the left just to make sure you can go flat through that corner. Down in the second gear right here. You can carry the throttle a bit earlier than I did. I'm just trying to make a lap here. If you're really going for it, you can really go for it. Down in the first gear right here. And again, you have more grip than you think. So just, have that in mind when you drive this track. Second gear, full throttle, power out over to fluke plots. That is one of the places I know on this track. From here, you're going to be completely flat out into that right-hander. So it's going to be like a pretty boring stretch, but it's a really great stretch if you want to, think about your passing opportunities or other opportunities you have on the track. Again, try to keep it tidy on the curbs. Completely flat this entire time. Sixth gear. You're going to feel like you're going to stall out, but you're really, really, really making time through here if you keep it to the left. So down from sixth into first gear. You can get on the power a little bit early here because there's a little bit of camber as well as you're going downhill. So you have like a little bit of grip to play with. Down into the foxhole. This is a really fun part of the track, not going to lie. I really enjoyed it whenever I went through here. And the fun part is at the top of the hill. You can take it flat out in sixth gear, as you'll see. Down into the second gear as soon as you can, though. You want to hang to the right, go down into first after you're in the second. Watch your power application through here. It's very easy to get up on one of the curbs and loop it or otherwise push into the wall. You're going to want to get up into fifth in this next straightaway. Try to get a little bit to the right here for the left-hander. And stay flat out the whole time down into second gear. So this next part of the track is a real pain on the rear end. Down into first gear for this right-hander right here. Make sure you do not hit the curb. If you hit the curb on the left, that's pretty much your race, so avoid that. This part right here, you got to have a little bit. You can be flat out through there, but you got to hit the brake right here. You cannot take that flat out. It's very deceiving. You're heading downhill. I feel like you have a lot of grip. Do not take that flat out. Down to the first gear right here. Brake early. The later you brake, the harder it will be to make it. So brake early for that corner. Down into first. Power up into fourth gear through here. You want to get down into second gear for the left-hander. And again, easy on throttle application. It's very easy to loop the car. To third, back into second gear. Again, that's a very easy corner to spin out of, like almost every single corner on this track when you're below third gear. So really, really, really be careful on your throttle application. Similar corner right here, fifth down into second gear. And again, there's a lot of grip here because it's a really wide corner. It's a very late apex. But you have to be very careful you don't hop on the throttle too early. And there's a little bit of a bridge to kind of straddle there. I mean, you can be second gear and on the power early, but you risk either pushing out or getting loose. And if you can master that, you can really master a lap run here. It's really about your confidence to get on the throttle. And of course, unlike I just did right there, do not hit the curves at all. I still don't know if you want to be in fifth or sixth gear for this section. You're definitely going to want to downshift before this next uphill right-hander. I didn't. Oh, I just did right there, actually. And down into first gear for the right-hander. It's a very long right-hander. You're going to kind of have to wait on a little bit. Very easy to loop it on power application, as you can see right here. The carousel is interesting. You're going to want to be in first gear, and you're going to want to get into the carousel. The tricky part is getting out of it. It's incredibly easy to loop the car because you're coming up with all that weight transfer. Be very easy on the throttle. Be incredibly easy on the throttle. You're going to want to get into fifth gear right here and flat out through here. You dip your tires on the right, down one gear, down to a second gear, so this will be third gear through this corner. And this next part of the track is really all about getting into a flow and hitting a rhythm. You can Probably take it in third and fourth gear combined, but it's really about what you're most comfortable with. Like the Nordschleife, if you can make time here, you're awesome. Good for you. But it's really about getting into a rhythm and being comfortable with your own driving. It's an incredibly difficult track. So you're going to want to alternate between third and fourth gear through here. Avoid the curves unless they're kind of flat. I take a little bit of runoff here. Try to avoid that. There is a 1X there on the left. I don't know if I had it on this lap or not. Down to the second gear, you can maintain that apex to the inside. And, of course, similar situation here. Avoid the curves again. These are very easy corners to get curves on. You can be flat out through these parts of the course where you do have a little bit of a jump, though, especially right here. Try to go down one gear and lift. I went a little too aggressive. You'll see me almost high side that curb. You don't normally get away with that, so make sure you have a little bit less speed through that section. Flat out through here. And then you're going to want to go down into fifth or fourth gear for this next corner. It really depends on how much RPM you want, especially when you have to brake for the left-handed right here. I can't stretch it enough, but avoid going more into those curves than I did. This carousel is a real pain. So second gear, I was really conservative through there. I probably could have powered up earlier and gone in a little deeper. But again, it's not worth really throwing a whole lap way over. And then you're going to want to kind of ease your throttle out before those curves on the right. And then you're going to want to carry as much speed as you can. You got a mile's worth of straightaway here. Something to really remember is that you're not going to have your push to pass the entire time. So you're going to have to really strategically about when and how you use it on the straightaway, especially because it's not exactly an easy passing zone. You're really going to have to file through what you can at the bottom of the hill. So you're going to want to go up the hill here. Try to avoid moving around too much. You're just going to scrub speed. And also your speeds are going to go up if the course is run as your fuel load lightens and your tires have more pressure and your ride height go up. So try to keep it to the left there. And this is where you're going to want to sort out any argument you might have with another driver in terms of passing. So 6 down to the second. And if you're really feeling adventurous, you can get down to first because you're going to power out of this corner. And that's really going to be key to your run to the line. So that's the lap around the Nordschleife. Again, I apologize it wasn't a perfect lap, but it's really difficult to do that around here. But I hope it helps. Thank you, and good luck racing this week.
Thanks, Matt, for the commentary and the tips. We'll go ahead and look at some of the passing zones now at this track. Of course, there's many corners we can make a pass in, but some of the primary ones include heading down towards Arnberg. So after the flick plots and through the Schwedenkreuz, we're on push to pass. Take a peek to the inside and simply outbrake the car to our left. Again, we use the banking and the camber of the corner to get on throttle early and complete the pass. One of the easiest places to pass, though, will be on Dertinger and Antonius Buhe, which combines to make one of the longest straightaways in all of racing. You get on the push to pass or get the draft the car in front of you, get alongside them. Usually you can clear them before Tiergarten and Hohenrain. Otherwise, expect to see a lot of side-by-side action in this last sector of the track. And that's our basic guide for the Nurburgring Nordschleife this week. If you'd like to read more information about the Nürburgring this week in IndyCar on iRacing, check below in the description for a link to the iRacing Weekly forum thread, as well as an invite to the IndyCar community Discord.